Assassin's Creed Mirage was meant to be the return to roots for the Assassin's Creed franchise, ditching all the RPG stuff and going back to what used to work back in 2008, 2009, all the way up to 2015. Minus a few bumps in the road like Assassin's Creed Unity's launch. Back in 2015, Assassin's Creed Syndicate came out. It was the sequel to Assassin's Creed Unity, and people were just kind of tired of the formula. Made sense. Tons of games, tons of sequels, tons of games doing the exact same thing over and over again. It gets tiresome, gets boring. Who cares? So Ubisoft said, let's just ditch all that. Let's do The Witcher 3. You can check this video out here. I talk about it all the time. I had a few complaints about the video, but hey, it is what it is. I wanted to talk about the RPG stuff. Anyway, they go RPG stuff, and people enjoy it for a while. Origins was received very well. Then Odyssey came out, then Valhalla came out, and already people were kind of tired of what they were doing with Assassin's Creed. So what did they do? They went back. They went back to roots. Did Assassin's Creed Mirage. And for some reason, everyone is complaining about it. I don't know why. I'm going to say it right now. Assassin's Creed Mirage is actually one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. I know. Jack, it's just come out. Sticky man, what you saying? You're being a bit crazy here. It's not that good. And you're right. Assassin's Creed... What am I saying? What's going on? Assassin's Creed Mirage is not a very good game. In fact, it's kind of shit. But because it's gone back to roots and it's exactly what I wanted from the franchise, I'm gonna say it. It's one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games because it plays like a fucking Assassin's Creed game. You okay, Roy? Hello, Roy. My dog is down here. He's chilling. I'm trying not to step on him. He's a German Shepherd. He's a big boy. He's a big boy, aren't you? Aren't you? You're a big boy. Let's talk about the good stuff first. The open world. Baghdad is fucking amazing. I really liked exploring Baghdad. It worked well with the parkour. It looks great. There's a lot of history to it that you could learn about it in the game. There's a few things to do. Nowhere near as much as previous games, even like Assassin's Creed 2 and all that. There's nowhere near as much to do. There's not. This was meant to be a DLC, so you kind of go in expecting that because it's a very short game and there isn't a lot of side content, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But Baghdad itself, exploring it, the way it's built, it felt like old Assassin's Creed, like going into one location, just being able to explore it, and you can see the amount of care and detail that went into it, rather than exploring the entirety of basically England and Valhalla and it just being trees. You know what I mean? There's a big difference. And I think that goes to what a lot of players wanted from Assassin's Creed, and they want from other open world games, to stop going massive, stop going huge, and go denser. Make everything that you see worthwhile visiting. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what Mirage does. Now, it's not perfect. The outskirts of Baghdad is not particularly interesting to explore at all. It's basically just a bunch of green, some bits of like sand and shit, you know what I mean? It's not really that fun to explore. There's a couple like hidden tombs and stuff like that. I wouldn't really call them tombs. There's a side mission that involves a tomb, and that's actually a pre-order bonus for Assassin's Creed Mirage. I didn't pre-order it, I use Ubisoft Plus, you see, but that was fun. But overall, the outskirts, shit. I don't know why they included the outskirts. You might as well have just set it in the city and just dedicate a bit more time to, adding a bit more polish to certain areas, or add a couple more side missions or whatever. But hey, that's their choice, you know what I mean? I'm not a developer. It was cool to have. But the problem with Baghdad, okay, is there's just not much content. There is the side content, okay, there are assassination contracts, you got those contracts where you have to protect people, and then you have contracts where you have to steal stuff. It is basically the traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay, but less of it. Okay, and for some people that'd be great, and for me, I actually quite enjoyed the minimal impact of side missions here, not being forced to do them to level up or anything like that, which is exactly what I wanted. So, overall, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good so far. But the problem with the side missions is they are repetitive. They are the same thing over and over again. When I was watching the trailers and they started talking about that there's going to be less side content, but it's going to be more varied, no, that's not the case at all. You're going to be stabbing, you're going to be protecting, and you're going to be looting. That is it. That is the side missions. You just do them to level up your guy a little bit more, even though you don't really need the skills. We'll get to that in just a minute. But overall, it was nice to have. They didn't have to include those assassination contracts. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and I'm happy for it. They also have Tales of Baghdad. These are like the weird side missions that really shouldn't be in the game, to be perfectly honest with you, because they're so insignificant. What they are basically is you explore the world, you go to a specific part of Baghdad, it happens at random, I think. You get these missions that are more story based, so you get a little extra bit of story rather than just doing an assassination contract, you know what I mean? There's some more story there. It's kind of more like the RPG route type mission design. So you get a tiny shitty story that no one gives a shit about, and then you go do a specific amount of tasks, and then you're done. That's it. That's GG. Whatever. That's what Tales of Baghdad are. So I don't think they really need to be in the game, or they could have just fleshed them out a lot more. But you know, at the end of the day, Mirage was meant to be a DLC. They're selling it cheaper than a AAA game, as they should, because it's a AA budget. We'll get to that in just a minute as well. But yeah, overall, Baghdad, lovely city. Loved exploring it. Looks great graphically. Sure, it's not on, the level of like Last of Us Part 2 or anything like that, but it's an open world game. You're never going to get there, really, at least for another like 5 years. But hey, we're getting close, okay? Mirage, overall, fun city to explore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, beach bag bush. Boom. Right, story. Let's get into it. I'm gonna when I start talking about spoilers, okay? I'm stuttering now because I don't want to spoil anything. But when I get to spoilers, I will say we're doing spoilers. Shut up, Roy. I know I'm talking too much. I will do spoilers though. I will do them, and I'll let you know when they're coming. Okay? Don't worry about it, because there's nothing really here to spoil. Let's get into it. So you follow a guy called Basim. He's from Valhalla. Never completed it. Didn't know where his character was going. I just knew this was going to be like a prequel for it. So Basim is a street thief turned assassin, and that's it. Basically, he has an inner conflict within himself, okay? And every time you kill a target, you get these like visions. That is just like a cool throwback to the original Assassin's Creed, with how the animus bits happen. Like the target gets a word in, you know what I mean? He gets a big speech, or she gets a big speech, you know what I mean? It's a throwback to that, but they add a little bit more story to it for Basim himself, rather than the person you just fucking murdered. Woo! So that was fun. That was fun, like, little idea they had for the story. But unfortunately, the story just goes nowhere, and the writing is not very good, okay? Let's get into it. Firstly, Basim as a character. I don't know anything about the bloke, okay? I played through the whole game, and it finished, and I was just like, who is this Basim guy? I don't even know who he is. He doesn't really have any, like, standout moments for character development. You don't really understand who he is. You get a quick moment at the start of the game as him as a thief, and clearly coming from a rough area, you know what I mean? He's doing what he can to survive, all that stuff. And then an event happens in the game where the assassins decide, you know what, Basim, you know what, come on, we need more assassins, okay? We're getting fucked up here. We're always getting fucked up. Just come join our cult. Come join. And he joins. His best friend ain't happy about it, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta disappear and do your own thing for a bit, and that's what he does. It's really hard to talk about because there's nothing to talk about. But yeah, the targets you're killing, they're not interesting really. They don't get any like major character moments before you kill them. That is one thing that has always bothered me about the later Assassin's Creed, like Origins, Syndicate, even Unity in a lot of ways, is that the villains don't get any time to really leave a mark. So you don't really feel anything when you finally have to go and assassinate them. You don't feel any conflict. You think this guy's a good guy really, but he's just in the wrong cult, because it's just two cults basically fighting each other, innit? So the villain's very weak. Nowhere near enough development, nowhere near enough screen time to really get you invested, get you caring about them, getting any sort of just conflict within yourself with killing them. You're murdering people, man. You're meant to have some conflict about that. But hey, it is what it is. The game's very short. They had a big opportunity to really push Basim's character through the villains, and they do attempt it, but only after you've stabbed them in the neck and they're dead. You know what I mean? You're not going to see them again, so who cares? I just went on my phone after a while. I was just like, yep, another target. Woo! Bang, tweet. KSI lost. Oh no, who cares? Woo! But yeah, I better get to spoilers. We're already 10 minutes in. Let's get to spoilers. So, I want to talk about spoilers because of the end of the game. The end of the story, okay? The end of the story, the last like 20-30 minutes, is the most interesting part of the whole story, okay? It's just a fact. It's just that anyone that's played it is going to say the exact same thing. The ending is kind of where it actually gets interesting, but they really should have made it interesting at the start, but they didn't, so, you have to wait till the end of the game. Oh well. So basically what happens is Basim finds the precursor site, whatever you want to call it these days. He goes in, and he finds out that he's actually a reincarnation. Where has this franchise gone, man? He is a reincarnation of the Norse god Loki. Yeah. The only reason the end of this story is interesting is because Basim is Loki, a god. What happened to this franchise, man? What? Okay, bear with me. I never completed Valhalla. After I got this ending, I immediately looked it up and tried to understand what's really going on. So what Ubisoft have done, basically, has turned, like, Norse gods mythology, okay, something like that, and kind of spun it on its head so that fits the precursor race. So the precursor race basically is where Loki is from my understanding of it. And somehow Loki found a way to figure out a way to reincarnate himself in Bazum, and he's actually been living in Bazum the whole time. And in order for Loki to come back, Bazum has to retreat, and Loki takes over his body. What? I'm getting lost myself, man. My head. So yeah, that's the ending of the story. That's the resolution. That's it. He decides Bazum basically dies in a way, and Loki takes over his body, and that's where he fucks off to England to meet Eivor, or whatever the fucking character's name is, and to do Valhalla stuff, okay? And then when I looked it up, Loki or Bazum is actually in the modern day now, so he's alive in the modern day, so he's the new modern day protagonist. Do you see why I'm lost here? I didn't complete two Assassin's Creed games. I looked it up. I didn't complete 2 of them. And I'm somehow, I was over here, and everyone else is up here. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. The story just went nuts. So it was really, really fucking confusing for me. But it's also the best part of the story. You know what I mean? It's the most interesting bit. They finally lean into the precursor stuff. They finally lean in a bit more to the modern day stuff to keep the story actually rolling. And then it just ends. It just ends. But yeah, those last 20 minutes, easily my favourite part of the whole game. Mainly because they started playing Ezio's Family, the Mirage version. Which, by the way, Ezio's Family in Assassin's Creed 2 is still goated, okay? But the Mirage version, I actually think I prefer it. I actually really like the Mirage version. It's shorter. It's only about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. But the music, they nailed the music here. And it was used really effectively, I think. But that's just me. So yeah, story was so confusing. I can't even talk about it now. I'm probably losing you as I'm waffling at this point. You probably thinking I'm waffling, because I am waffling. I don't have a fucking clue what I'm playing here. I don't understand it, you know what I mean? And that's bad. And that is bad. This is a return to roots game that nothing should have been involved with Valhalla, I don't think, story-wise. This should have been a separate story to test the waters, to see if people still want the classic AC formula. And people do, but the story, it's going to go nowhere at this point. I mean, I guess it's going to go somewhere, but most people aren't going to give a shit because Loki has been reincarnated. This used to be about historical accuracy. Yeah, it was about sci-fi stuff too, but the historical accuracy was very important. They removed the crossbow from Assassin's Creed 1 for historical accuracy, so fuck it, who cares, man? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to gameplay. Oh yeah, if you are planning to stick around with the Sticky Man by subscribing, I really appreciate that. My next video will be on the Far Cry games. I'll be ranking every single Far Cry game apart from the console exclusive. So yeah, stick around for that if you want some more Sticky Man. I'd really appreciate it. Right, first thing out the way, the teleportation mechanic. Get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here. I used it twice. Once when it was forced, and another time just to see how effective it was. It is stupidly effective. If you're going to play this game, obviously I've just gone through the spoilers, but if you are going to play it and you've skipped the spoilers, please don't use the teleportation mechanic. It is bullshit. It is too easy. It ruins the flow of the game. It ruins the pacing. It ruins the challenge, okay? Don't use it. Get rid of it. The only reason I upgraded it because there was nothing else to upgrade, okay? Bing, bash, bosh. The upgrade tree, the skill tree, since I mentioned the teleportation thing, it's not great. In fact, it's terrible and it shouldn't even be in the game. It doesn't need to be there. It is a bunch of skills that are so insignificant to your playstyles, whatever it is, combat, stealth, whatever. It's insignificant. It doesn't do anything for you. The only one that's useful is the tool system, but that isn't even in the skill trees. It's not in the skill trees. You actually have to go to a bureau to upgrade your tool system. So that's really all that was needed for progression, but they decided to put a skill tree in there for some reason. You know, it's Assassin's Creed, innit? They just do what they want now. So yeah, skill tree was kind of pointless. It's there to make you feel like you're getting a sense of progression, but it's just not needed, okay? It's just not. I mean, the most effective skill that you can get is probably for your bird. For your fucking bird thing that flies all around and scans the enemies and everything, which is also kind of cheesy, but hey, those are the most effective skills. I wouldn't bother with them. I'd just play the game without them, but hey, that's just me. Stealth, obviously stealth is the big one. It's a return to the roots. It's meant to be a stealth game, okay? I will say, and I've said it in my Assassin's Creed rankings, which you can watch there, stealth in Assassin's Creed has never been a strong point. They claimed it was an action-adventure stealth game, something like that. It's not a stealth game. It's not a stealth game. This is the most stealthiest Assassin's Creed game that's ever been released. Quote me on that. It is. It is the most stealthy game. Mainly because the combat sucks, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, stealth, Assassin's Creed stealth, even though it's not a stealth game, the idea behind it is fast stealth, like speedy stealth. You're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. It's not like Splinter Cell, for example, where you have to take your time, methodically, pick your targets carefully, one by one, and constantly progress. Assassin's Creed, you can just boop, 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 just big bash bosh, you know, just dash forward, dash out, dash forward, dash out. That's kind of what you're meant to do, and you have your throwing knives. But the stealth here, it's fine. It's the best stealth Assassin's Creed has ever had, but it's still fine. It's not amazing at all. It's an open world stealth game. You're not going to get much out of it. Metal Gear Solid 5 still, for open world stealth games, still has the, you know, it's the king. Assassin's Creed Mirage is nowhere near it, okay? Yes, it's a decent stealth game and you can have fun with stealth. I mean, that's how you're going to have the most of your fun, because combat is not satisfying at all. But overall, for a stealth game, it is not great. It's not great, okay? It just isn't. It's just not. You get smoke bombs, you get throwing knives, you get your blow darts, you get your you know, your sound tools to get people to come over to you, like whistling and all that. But you know, it's just a traditional Assassin's Creed game. The stealth is not great, and the AI is even worse here. The AI is god awful. It's terrible. They still haven't improved it. They made this whole video about our AI systems are much better. They are much improved. They just watch you stab people and just mind their own business. They see a dead body, they walk over, like, that's a dead body. Anyway, where are we going? Where's the drink? They don't actually search for you. They don't check bushes. They don't check haystacks. They don't do anything unless you've already been detected, which is just stupid. It's just stupid. If you see a guy get into a bale of hay, you're gonna think, huh, I'm being paid to protect this place. Why has that guy just jumped in there? Is he you know, poisoning the hay or some shit? I don't know. Can you even poison hay? Think about the horses, man. Think about the horses, poor bastards. But yeah, stealth, not great at all, and that's very unfortunate, and I wish it was better. Combat though, fucking hell, Ubisoft. I know you wanted it to be a stealth game, but you didn't need to ruin your combat this much, okay? One thing that I do like about the RPG game, specifically Origins, is that the combat is fairly well balanced. Did my chair just pop up? I'm sorry about that. My green screen, I've got a fake green screen. This is my GPU doing the green screen. It's kind of mad, actually. But yeah, combat in the Origins game is actually quite satisfying. I quite like the Origins game. There was a good balance of, you know, RPG stuff and classic Assassin's Creed stuff. It wasn't quite as, you know, spongy as Odyssey or Valhalla. Here, there's no sponge really at all once you get a basic sword. So basically, you got heavy attacks and light attacks, and if you just combine the two, enemies don't stand a damn chance. The parry system, you can parry. There's no blocking, you can parry, but the parry window is so incredibly long and easy to achieve. You can literally just stand there and do fuck all and win. Everyone's talking about how difficult it is, how hard it is and all that crap, and I was just like, it's not. It's really not that hard at all. You just got to time your parries. It's like Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, etc, etc, except there's no like combo kills now, so you can't just instantly kill another enemy after you've killed one. That doesn't work that way anymore, which is good. I never really liked that. It looked flashy, but it made the combat too easy. But yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. You stand there, you counter, you heavy attack, you light attack, and that's it. GG, whatever. Enemy variety is shocking. There's like 3 enemies in the entire game. 1 enemy you have to hit from the back, and then you've got the basic enemies, which are just so easy to kill, and then you've got one other type of enemy, which appears when your notoriety is at max, and that enemy is kind of difficult, but once you understand their moveset, it's like, you know, like stroking a dog. It's so fucking easy. You can do it in your sleep, innit? It's a good time to speak about the notoriety system. It's finally back. It hasn't been in Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 3 back in 2012. So that was 11 years ago, bro. 11 years ago. Notoriety disappeared from the games, and now they're back, and I really enjoyed it. I liked having my notoriety go up when I was doing illegal shit. I was killing people. I should rightfully be called out for it. I should go to jail for killing people. You know what I mean? That's fair. So I like the notoriety's back, and again, you know, the world gets a bit more immersive. It gets more interesting to, you know, play around in. And yeah, I just enjoy the notoriety system. The customization system is downgraded significantly, which is good, I think. It's not an RPG anymore. You don't need tons of armor. You don't need anything. You get your outfits, and then you get your costumes. The costumes go over your outfits to have a specific look, okay? So if you want to look like Ezio, don't worry. You don't have to risk losing certain stats. You can just pop it over your current outfit and keep the same abilities that you've already got with a different outfit, you know what I mean? So any outfit you pick, you can, you can swap out through, what do they call it? Is it called transmog? I've never understood it. Transmog. Basically, you can look a specific way without worrying about your stats, and that's exactly what it needed. You can also choose different upgraded weapons, so you can choose a different sword that does some like more parry damage, or a weapon that poisons, or, you know, stuff like that. Basic stuff, not really worth talking about. You don't really need it because the combat's too easy anyway. But yeah, as an overall package, Mirage is an interesting game and an interesting experiment, and I think it's worked out overall. Yes, there is a lot of things that are not very good. Combat, stealth could be improved, side missions, side content, there could have been a lot more, which was more diverse and more interesting overall. But for a return to roots, for a AA budget, which is decent, a AA budget for something like this, it was meant to be a DLC, I think they did very well. I think they did very well with the constraints that they had, and if anything, this just gives me hope that they're planning to just do this again, but give it a bigger budget so they can really go back to roots, do a big story, 12 sequences long, multiple missions each sequence, big world that you can explore that is separated into different cities or something like that. Not bloated. Make a big world, but make each bit of it dense. That's all you have to do. That's it. That's all you have to do, okay? Ubisoft, please do it. Yeah, overall, Mirage was a very fun experience. What do you think? Let me know. Have you played it? Do you plan on playing it? Please tell me. I'd be very interested to see how everyone else reacted to Mirage in the comments. Stick with the Sticky Man by subscribing. Thank you very much. You've all been great on that Witcher 3 video, by the way. That did really well. I had COVID at the time, so I couldn't reply to comments, and I didn't have any time to make content. I was sick, so that was interesting, but it did really well. Thank you for all the comments. I really appreciate all the nice support you gave me. And yeah, just stick around for the next video, which will probably be on Far Cry. I'll be ranking every single Far Cry game apart from the console exclusives. So stick around for that. I really appreciate that. And yeah, cheers.